Tonight on a very special episode of The Doucheless Vegan, its most dramatic rose ceremony yet. Ever since Chris Harrison had to step down due to,
Were there some shenanigans?
Oh, shenanigans, racial shenanigans. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Look it
What's
up. I don't want to
wrong
get
with
into
people?
Everything's wrong with people. That's why we're here.
Oh, my God.
And we're glad you're here. We're kidding. We love everybody. Well, most people. We love all the animals.
Cancel clear!
We have more information on Cancel Clear, too. This is your one-stop shop for everything vegan and psychic. My name is Carla Collins. I'm a comedian and interpretive dance instructor. What aren't we doing during the pandemic? And Michael Stewart Webb is the czar of all vegans. He's been a vegetarian most of his life. He's a vegan. He's a baller. So we have teamed up together. Well, mostly because I'm living here and I refuse to leave.
I don't want you to. Should you even make that overture, you shall be found in a well in my basement.
That's, again. I don't even know whether to cancel clear that because I sort of enjoyed it. We say, okay, so if you're just, this is the first episode, they're like, what in the name of, what's going on? So a friend of ours, friend of the show, Donna Roberts, and who's been one of my best friends forever, said that basically when you say something to the universe like, oh, kill me now, you have to say cancel clear right away. And the reason we say it in a Southern accent is because she's from Chattanooga, honey. So cancel clear because then the universe records it. And you and I were making jokes about it, like it's the 20-second rule on one of our previous shows. Well, I have a big follow-up to that. It has to do with the Akashian records. I think I've got it right. Akashic records.
Okay, Akashic.
Akashic. I was doing my homework all week. How did I F that up? The Akashic records, which are basically a non-physical vibrational library.
Interesting.
Like if you were to Google your soul, and every living creature, not just humans, like Cadbury, Dr. Zira, Duke, every living creature's thoughts, intents, emotions, and words have been recorded since the dawn of time.
Shit.
I'm
in trouble.
Well, then there you go. You're dropping the shit bomb. That just got recorded. So past, present, future, but we'll tell you more about that later because I'm all about it now.
I'm excited.
As you can imagine. I know. I'm excited too. And we have a great episode because this is going to start. We have Miscongeniality Part 1 and Part 2. So this is Part 1 this week because Michael made the most phenomenal guacamole dip. This, like, really, I may have bathed in it.
I did, I think, see you slathering it on some of your nether regions.
Which I could. It's very avocado. So we want to talk to you because we thought, okay, listen, this show isn't just for vegans. Obviously, you can be vegan adjacent. You can be a flexitarian. We like that. You can just be bi vegan curious. So whatever you are. But, I think we were talking about this last week. It's so important to say some of your favorite foods are vegan.
Mm-hmm.
There's 0% of the population who doesn't absolutely love guacamole.
Oh my God, it's delicious.
With a margarita. Guac margarita and just Tostitos. I mean, wasn't that what Jennifer Aniston survived on? And look at her. She's 106 and she looks amazing.
She looks phenomenal.
She's in her 50s. And that was her that was her treat when she lost weight way back at the very beginning of Friends. And that's her go-to. I love it. So we thought, hey, if there are two things, hummus and guac, that you probably already love. They're vegan. We have the best recipes. So you don't want to go anywhere. You want to stick here. And this week, in the spotlight, guacamole.
It's gorgeous. I mean, it was beautiful and unctuous and gorgeous texture, very flavorful. And like, it couldn't get any easier. I mean, if you have a food processor and a handful of ingredients, it's, 15 minutes, you got the most delicious guacamole you've ever had in your life.
Like, say people ever come over to your house again.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, because a lot of us are still open and shut, pandemic, but it is such a great thing if you have a couple people over.
Yeah.
It's just a big crowd pleaser.
Oh my God, yeah. Absolutely. And you likely have all of the ingredients in your pantry already. Mm-hmm. Super easy. No brainer.
And once again, I feel like it's becoming my mantra, but avocados, just ridiculously good for you. First of all, they're delicious. I am so surprised and was a bit snobby when I landed here. You had a bunch of avocados and I thought, I'm not in
I
California.
know, you did turn your nose up at them. I don't want your imported avocados.
Well, because I remember, at least back when I used to live in Canada, they weren't the best because they had a long way to
They had
travel.
a long way to come, yeah.
You know, it wasn't always a direct flight, apparently. Some of them came by Greyhound bus, it would have appeared. But these, all through the winter, I have an avocado or two every day.
Yes,
They're
you do.
fantastic.
Yeah. You have been extolling the Canadian avocado virtues, that's for sure.
I was, it was like, okay, I always admit when I'm wrong. Well, unless, in a relationship. But
I was just going to say.
they're amazing. And again, so the benefits of olives, of avocado rather, keep coming. When eyesight, apparently it's fantastic for your
wow,
eyesight.
really?
Yes. Skin and hair, no brainer. Great for if you're pregnant, which is a good thing because I have just knocked up Michael. We didn't want to say anything until he was 3 months along.
Oh, come on. Now you've kind of let the world know.
Because I want them to give us a shower. You would just, if you and I had a kid together, we'd just give birth to attitude. Just be like, smart ass nightmare.
Attitude
just
with legs.
Attitude and baby booties. But great folic acid if you are pregnant. Again, it's amazing for hormones. They're just every day I keep reading 10 benefits of avocados. And yeah, they're really a superfood. They have over 20 minerals and vitamins in them. So they're antioxidants, they're uncle-oxidants, they're everything you could want. So guac is, if you don't like a straight up avocado the way I do, here's how I have mine: just avocado, a little bit of lemon juice, and salt.
Delish.
And they're the other thing is they're great for weight loss because they fill you up. Mm-hmm. No one has an avocado and says, oh, now I want some meatloaf and a pork loin. Like, you're good with it because it's actually a berry.
It's satiating.
It's a fatty berry.
Yeah.
Fatty Berry, also my drag queen name in high school.
Oh my goodness. Fatty Berry, I like it.
PH though, of course. Not for fatty because I was cool. So this is a great way, and you have an amazing recipe.
Thanks, doll.
So good.
It is tasty, I have to say. I mean, you should never extol your own virtues, but I have to say it's pretty. My recipe's the bomb. Very flavorful, super easy, as we said. I mean, you very likely have all of the ingredients in your pantry. Like, you can bang it out in 15 minutes. It's so simple.
Are we still talking about guacamole?
Maybe.
Okay. I never know.
Maybe.
And also, if you're trying vegan burgers or vegetarian burgers for the first time, it's great to put some guac on those.
Yeah.
Spice up your life.
Absolutely.
I hate to quote the Spice Girls. No, I love quoting the Spice Girls, but yeah, it's amazing. So,
do you know what? I wonder what a dollop of guac on a vegan burger might taste like. In lieu of say the mayonnaise or something, like the vegan mayonnaise, of course. But
yeah, absolutely.
Or
plus, put your hands together. Why not have both? Because I love guac on. I mean, listen, before I became vegan, I love guac on my burgers. So why not? And
you should try
California is
that.
Basically, avocado with everything. Avocado toast being, of course, the douchey millennial go to.
No comment.
Brunch treat, which is fine because it's vegan, so it's cool. But we'll put avocado on anything.
All right, well, let's give that a whirl. Let's try some guac on a vegan burger.
So Michael will have that recipe for you.
Yes, it's all ready to rock and roll. So we'll post the recipe for the guac on our socials.
Yes.
And as always, we want to know what you guys think. So, we'll look forward to your comments. And with that in mind, Karen Moore Armstrong, actually, I think we might have converted her. She hopped on our socials and is going to try some of our recipes. And we're looking forward to some of her feedback too. So
absolutely. Now,
fun.
do all your friends have 3 names like you?
Yes.
Go by Carla Marie Collins if I want to continue to hang. And Renee Welling, who's a great friend of the show, she has been chiming in too because last week we said we would do some research on ice baths.
Yes.
And I'm very much a seeker. I've decided I'm full on seeker. I think it's because you're like where you need to be in life, where I'm like, I still need to find an answer. And we were talking about ice baths and cold. It's great for depression. It's great for losing weight. It's great for your immune system. So I said I would do some research on that. And she sent me the trailer for a documentary called Hydrotherapy.
Oh, yeah.
Where a woman who was diagnosed with, I believe, a pretty horrible illness She just became obsessed with swimming in various cold waters. Everywhere you see her swimming, wearing a toque, beanie for our American listeners, and it helped her with depression, helped her reverse this horrible, life-threatening disease, and because it really brings you into the present. So, sort of the go-to guy on this, who is known as the Iceman, very aptly named. And I actually went to a seminar, a Wim Hof seminar at Malibu Fitness years ago. His name is Wim Hof. He is a Dutch, they call him, extreme athlete, but it's not really that. He just stumbled upon this years ago. His backstory, I think, is fascinating. He had 4 young children.
Yeah, you shared a little bit of this.
Yeah, and his wife sadly committed suicide. He talks about it in almost all of his interviews. She literally jumped off a building because she had been diagnosed with schizophrenia, and going to traditional doctors apparently made things worse. Now, he had no choice, but he had 4 kids. He talked about how all 5 of them slept in the same bed and they were nesting, and he had to be present. But he himself, as you can imagine, fell into a depression as a result of this.
Of course.
And was searching for answers, for help. And of course, just like we believe at Comedic Meditation, Chuckle and Chill, it's all inside, right? The answers are inside. But he said one day, and he was seeking out different things. I'm sure he tried different things, and I don't know if all of them spoke to him. But he saw this body of water that was calling his name, and he jumped in.
With a view to what, though?
I don't know. I think he just said he was attracted, he was drawn to it, and he knew instinctively it would help him.
Interesting.
And I guess it's certainly because people will say, what should we focus on when we're in this cold water? Because he does retreats with men and they're all shirtless in their shorts, climbing Kilimanjaro, Mount Everest. People who are practicing the Wim Hof method can spot each other in New York because it'll be cold like where we are now. We just had a big dumping of snow today in early March, and you'll see people in flip-flops and shorts. And because it's a whole exposing yourself to cold weather, as Renee said, it's gone back centuries. Athletes will go into an iced bath to recover more quickly, not unlike Angelina Jolie in the movie Salt. These are my references, of course. And we were speaking to this. Of course, you should check with your doctor. And of course, go to WimHofMethod.com and really research this for yourself. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to start the breathing first, because he recommends, he has this whole breathing technique, which is very simple, but you do these breaths, about 4 rounds, 30 to 40 breaths. And then he does invite you to, once you exhale, to hold it for as long, without breath. And apparently makes your body alkaline. So now he's become much more of an international star.
Very interesting.
Or figure. Not star. And he's not like a cult leader or anything. This has really helped him eradicate any disease, because he said our bodies are made to heal ourselves, which is a big, song you and I sing,
yeah,
right?
It's a philosophy that you and I share. I don't even take an Advil when I have a headache. I just make sure I drink plenty of fluids, and and I rest, and I just let my body heal itself. I'm really, as you are, I'm really not an advocate or proponent for a lot of pharmaceuticals.
No, because those are, they're synthetic, and that's his whole thing. He said he found the answer in nature to
Very
his depression, to living in the moment. And his mantra is be happy, strong, healthy.
Love it.
Because then you have everything else.
Love it.
And so it's eradicating depression. But of course, like you and I have said this on the show, Big Pharma isn't like, yay. And they've done these experiments on, and then they say, well, you're just crazy. You're an exceptional, you're the exception to the rule. So when he's taught these breathing methods, and the cold shower, his joke is a cold shower a day keeps the doctor away, to people who are interested, they injected a bunch of them. This is the most recent experiment with E. coli, and the 16,000 previous people, of course, all got sick. I don't know why they went 16,000. It seems like a lot. And he and, let's say, however many of his people who were using his breathing technique and the cold bathing, none of them got sick, because
Isn't that
he really believes our body can eradicate all that. Same with depression. Talk about living in the moment.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because the other thing is, when you're in freezing cold water, You're only thinking about, let me concentrate on my breath.
Yeah, survival, exactly.
And you know, we are living in a time that we try to make everything cozy, like more comfortable, and to our detriment, because we're not supposed to be living in concrete jungles and making everything room temperature. So it's this whole idea that we touched upon briefly last week of stressing the body so that you build up your immune system, so that you feel stronger. And it's also overcoming limiting beliefs, right? We think, I can't do that. This dude, by the way, is I think 62 or 63 now, and he's running marathons. Again, he's always shirtless in shorts.
Unbelievable.
So if you're interested, since we did mention cold therapy, and I said I would look into it, we have not tried it.
No. And you know,
and by the way, Michael's not. This is what I mean. See, Michael's where he wants to be, where I'm like, I'm going to try it for the next. I'm already signed up for a course, but and the problem is I'm always cold. You know, I'm always shaking like a chihuahua.
No, it's true. Well, you're also like a little waif of a thing.
Well,
but
not really a waif of a thing. But thank you. Oh, stop. But with the hair is so heavy. It could keep me warm. So again, and of course, you want to try this gradually, like everything.
Oh, for sure.
Or consult
you don't
with
want to
your
shock
doctor.
yourself.
Make sure you know what you're doing, because you could give yourself a heart attack. Let's be straight up about this. I want the warning flashing very. But I am going to look into this. I have done. Well, of course, it's great for your skin and hair. Why do you think your hairdresser gives you a cold rinse?
Sure,
at the
it
end?
tightens up the pores, right?
It does. Exactly. You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
So I like that. I go right to that. Does it make me prettier, Siri? Siri, does it make me prettier? Also, it'll eradicate cancer and depression. But first of all, do I look better? So I'm just saying, this is something I'm going to explore as we go on.
That's really interesting. I'm kind of interested in the science behind this, to be honest with you. So, like, you know, in your research, does he mention, like, you know, you'd speak about breathing exercise. So, are we talking about breathing a la Maz? Or?
Well, I'm not entirely certain what Maz is, because, as you know, I had my imaginary twins, kale and quinoa, via C-section. So everything could stay tight. So I watched him the best, by the way, and I really can't recommend this podcast enough. And I have to say this. Look, I know a bunch of young kids are doing podcasts, and great, you've got millions. But when you see a professional, Russell Brand, I do adore.
Yeah, he's a kook, but I love him.
He is a kook, but I'm
super bright.
I think he's the only one occupying the same space I'm trying to carve out, because he's a comedian. He's all into the spirituality stuff with a grain of salt and fun. Of course, I
love
just don't
him.
have his vocabulary.
Oh my God, he's a savant. He is extremely bright.
Oh, it's crazy, and I mean, I dig him. I don't know where you stand, but he has.
Oh, I love him.
Under the Skin, I believe is. I should. I'll look that up again before we go. But he has this amazing podcast, and the interview with Wim Hof. I think he's talked to him a couple times, but I watched their more recent one because I couldn't sleep last night. It's fascinating,
really,
and a couple of things that stood out. So he had him do the breathing right there in real time. And if I'm being honest, Wim Hof, his breathing is a little bit faster than I think we're accustomed to when we take deep breaths for, let's say, meditation.
Right.
So he's like, in, out. And should it be in through the nose, not through the mouth? He says it doesn't matter. Like,
as long as you're breathing.
And so he does it like the waves, right? Again, he's always borrowing from nature, which I dig. And again, we are supposed to be in cold. We're wearing clothes all the time. We always make ourselves more comfy, right? We're all Dr. Scholl's and stuff. Yeah. So you do that for, I believe it's 4 rounds. They did 1 round, and it's 30 breaths at minimum, in and out. Then on your last exhale, he asked Russell to not breathe for 2 minutes.
Just hold his breath for 2 minutes.
Yeah, so I did it for about 1 because I was doing it along with them. And then for as long as you can go. Because he's also very careful to say, be gentle with yourself. Don't strain. Again, nature doesn't strain. And then at the end of that, because apparently that makes your body alkaline just immediately.
Wow.
And the other thing is, because we never allow ourselves to be stressed, it's something about when we do this, you're able to access the crocodile or reptilian part of the back of our, our brains. Because his whole thing, Michael, is that instead of just using 20% of our brains, we could use 100. And that releases opioids. And it's all about releasing serotonin and all the natural boosters that we talk about, via, say, vegan foods that we're noticing.
Right.
The natural. And again, so I would recommend doing that. But To me, it was fascinating. Another thing he and Russell were talking about was about somebody who was going to go stay on a desert island for 6 months. Again, just battling the elements or whatever these people do to stress themselves or push themselves more. It's just about pushing yourself more. So a lot of Aboriginal cultures, tribal cultures, talk about the 3 brains. And they say the first brain, which we've also touched upon, is in our tummy.
Is the gut, yeah.
Is the gut. Second brain is heart. And this year, everybody, if you're at all spiritual or woke or gurish, they're talking about how we're moved into the heart brain. And that really our brain, the one that we usually work first, is just there to unravel problems.
Interesting.
It's just to problem solve. And Russell was saying for him, who lives very much in his brain and is articulate and a thinker and again, that guy's vocabulary is surreal. He found doing these methods, because obviously he hung with Wim Hof for a bit and did them, that he just was. Because he said, what should I focus on here? Nothing. Wow. Apparently that allows you to do that. And that there's, of course, discomfort for the first minute or two with a lot of these. And then people talk about euphoria or how it's helped them or how they feel more energy. Again, everything's different, but we did promise to do more research. We haven't done it personally. I'm going to really very calmly and slowly, step by step, maybe dip my large toe. I'll start with maybe a
calf.
Cold shower. By the way, since we haven't had sex forever during this pandemic, maybe cold showers aren't the worst things. We'll see how that goes. So it's so his whole thing is breathing, cold element, and mindset, commitment.
Very interesting.
So yeah, it's and as I said, it's Wim Hof, WIMHOF method.com for more information, or check out that interview we had. I'd love to have him on the show. And he is the most delightful man in the world.
Yeah,
honey.
I was just going to say, I wonder if it's possible that we might be able to coordinate, guest appearance with him, and I mean even Russell. I think that could
Russell's vegan.
Oh, I believe he is, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. But certainly wasn't one point. So
I'll call Katie. Hey, Katie, do you remember when you're married to Russell?
I don't think they're talking. I'm not sure what's happening there.
Oh yeah, I don't think they're on good terms either.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think he's really evolved. I don't know if he's Katy Perry talking to evolved yet, but we'll see. Then we'll swear by the Wim Hof method.
Exactly.
So yeah, I just find all that stuff fascinating.
It is fascinating. I'm curious. I mean, we all know that you're going to be the guinea pig because I'm not throwing myself in an ice bath. But
again, you're where you want to be in life. So I'm like, let me try this and see what happens.
I'm all about embracing evolution too, right? And becoming a better version of myself. But I also know my limitations. Like, and I'm not jazzed at the idea of throwing.
Very suggested you're like, yeah, honey, I'm not going to be doing anything.
Nope.
You enjoy. You enjoy that.
Let me know how that goes.
I think they talk. I don't know if it's his thing, but they talk about extreme heat. Now, even when I was a kid, I remember going to, if you went to Sweden, they would be in the hot sauna and then go roll in the snow.
New, I know,
exactly.
Exactly.
I'm sure his particular method is something he designed or put it together. But as Renee, as we started talking about our beautiful Renee, who has been listening and writing to us, it's been around forever and ever. Yeah. So, and I always think those are the best things. I always love hearing that for centuries, yes, because I think some things have been around forever because they do work.
Well, and that's it, right? I mean, Western medicine is, in the grand scheme of things,
Toddler.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, it's infantile in comparison to some of the other, the Asian practices or Middle Eastern practices or what have you. I mean, Western medicine is in its infancy, right? So
it is. And, I guess Edward Casey comes to mind with this too.
Yeah, we talked about him too.
Yeah, he will mention him. And again, it's that we have all the power within.
Totally.
And I think this is a great time, whether you're having to quarantine, if you're shut down, or if you're just half-assing it because it's pandemic still. If there is a good part to it, and we've said there are some good aspects to this, is that you do reflect inward. We have it all in our blueprint. And, just like when you meet someone and they resonate, whether you think it's from a past life or you just that automatic knowing, and that's, especially if you're going with your first brain that's in your belly.
Yeah. More vibrational.
It's all vibrational, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
we're all apparently vibrational. So yeah, that's
That is so interesting. Well, I'm
I know.
seriously all horsing around aside. I'm really interested in your thoughts on our little experiment with you taking a cold dip.
Yeah, we'll see. Crap. Hard nipples.
Cut glass.
I'll
with
just
them.
put the towel here. Well, I mean, gosh, I'm always freezing.
I know.
It's just maybe that's why I've been on the thin side, because I'm sure you're shivering,
vibrating,
right?
exactly.
So we'll see. Yeah, I am going to check it out, and I will be the guinea pig. And by the way, I love all this stuff. That would be my ideal TV show, Michael. If someone's like, Carla, try this, I would. Be all right if there are benefits, like not Carla. Here's some broken glass smoothie. No,
Maybe not.
Yeah,
maybe not. All of a sudden, I'm thinking of Fear Factor. When people were eating like,
oh, I know,
testicles and
oh my god,
and things like that. Here, Carla, try this.
Well, and again, does it bring me the success that Joe Rogan had? Maybe that all worked. I want to be Joanna Rogan. We want to be Joe Vegan.
Oh, ooh, I like it.
This is the Joe Vegan show, the Joe Vegan experience. Maybe people were confused. So yeah, I find that, but I like all this stuff that's
this energizes
adjacent.
you.
That I'll still make fun of it, of course, because I think it's great fodder for.
Well, and that's a beautiful thing, right? I mean, we have no idols, right? Nothing is sacred.
Yes, because
we make a joke out of everything, including ourselves.
Oh gosh, I just really uptight people, because lately
are uptight. Oh my God, they're so tedious.
Everybody's tiring, more and more uptight, and more politically correct, and it's okay. Everybody,
blah.
You have to laugh at yourself.
Exactly.
Again, I would think, well, that's holy laughter. That's something I think I told you the Kabbalists really believe in, that laughter is the closest distance between you and God. Well, if that's the pipeline, then I'm fine. If I do enough cancel clears whenever I say the wrong thing. But if this place is recording my intent and everything else, that's worried.
Yeah, I'm a serious doo-doo.
So my other kind of fun thing. Should we talk about this? So we talked about the Akashic records.
Yes.
Which is why Donna says the cancel clear.
I'm gonna grab my glass of wine over here.
Why am I drinking wine? Having wine?
I don't know.
Sit back.
You're a grown-ass woman. I have no idea.
Because I always get thirsty during this, and one time I only had a drink here, and I'm like, oh, I need water this time. So
there you go.
Yeah,
and water's good for you.
Oh, okay. Let's stop this. All right. So
Okay.
Renee also said carbonated water. When we mentioned your carbonated water machine, does it have a name?
A nickname? No. We could give it one.
Well, you call your giant food processor. You've called it after my mom, so that's Rosie.
Rose.
See, nothing's sacred to us.
My industrial food
my
processor.
beloved mom who passed away, we called the industrial strength food processor Rosie, because she makes things better.
She does. Well, Rose, the food processor. She's pretty, but you don't want to mess with her.
No.
Yeah, no.
And that bitch gets things done.
It's true.
Doesn't suffer fools gladly.
No, it doesn't.
So we were talking about how it's something I've always had to push myself is to drink more water.
I hate water. Honest to God, straight up,
it.
I absolutely hate water.
Really?
And my brother, growing up as a kid, his go-to beverage was always water, and
I know. Same with my bro. Loves it.
And the thing is, like my brother Malcolm, he was always skinny, and I just couldn't wrap my head around, glugging back water. I really did not enjoy it. But it was Malcolm's go-to, and he was always fit and skinny, and it didn't matter what he ate. I was always the fat kid. Yeah, no, that's okay.
No, I know. Again, you're sensational now.
So, I think that water is certainly, not only does it fill you up, so maybe you're not eating as many calories, but it also helps flush the body of toxins and keeps...
We're 80% water, right?
Yes, interestingly enough, Malcolm, I hope he's not listening, but he is my younger brother and he looks older than I do now. But anyway...
Is Malcolm vegan?
No.
Well, there
he's not, yes. That's the key.
It's all that we take.
It's true. Yeah, it's the vegan lifestyle.
Maybe you didn't get your beautiful supple skin.
Maybe.
Our oily teenage-like skin.
Oh yeah, honestly, I used to curse my my greasy skin, but now I'm embracing it because, you know, it keeps it alive and it keeps it hydrated, and it also provides protection, a layer of protection.
That's true. Yeah,
You know?
and it's natural. Like if I'm in the bathtub and I drop a little drop of, it's so funny. So like all my skin's very oily because you can tell it just the way that the water hits it, water and oil.
Yep.
And I'm like, wow, what percentage of me is just grease?
It's all those avocados.
I know, it's just avocado. I'm like an avocado with fake breasts and a lot of hair, which is a disturbing image, by the way. If you've seen an avocado with fake boobies out in the wild, so
that's our next mascot.
So we were saying last week briefly at the very end that
Yes.
I used to always make some kind of zhuzhed up water.
Oh yeah, I got sidetracked.
Spearmint and lemon and whatever I could throw into it, and then I would be into it a lot more because it had some flavor going.
Yeah.
And then I get here at the farm, and you've got this carbonator.
My Soda Stream, and so the only way I found I could stomach water was if it was carbonated, and so I turned into a Perrier junkie, and I just drank copious amounts of Perrier, and I thought, well, shit, this is not good for the environment. How many bottles am I going through?
Right.
And so that was around the same time that Soda Stream came out, and I thought, well, geez, I'll just give it a whirl. How bad could it be? And I did, and now you and I are totally hooked on carbonated water.
I even have the look at
the monster size of this bottle of carbonated water. But Renee had pointed out last week.
Yeah, she said it was particularly not great for women and that we lost calcium. I mean, I take a calcium supplement because you know me, I got supplements going like crazy.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, supplements going like bets in Vegas. I'm fine. But now you said that you were able to
did
debunk
research.
that.
Yeah, I did research it, and fortunately for people like us who are carbonated water junkies, and sorry, Renee, but there is no scientific evidence to support that claim. Carbonated water does not leach calcium from the body.
Good.
So you're safe drinking your carbonated water. The only caution is through all of my research for those people who might have digestive ailments, IBS or Crohn's or something like that.
I was going to say, is it making me even more farty?
Well, you know, it might upset because, you know, you're introducing some gas into the digestive tract. It might potentially cause some additional discomfort. But, you know, so that's the only cautionary tale. But there's no scientific evidence to support that carbonated water leaches calcium from the body.
Okay, got it. All right, so we're good. We're good
to go.
Now that could be selective research on our part. I like to Google and find the one thing that agrees with me and then stop. No, it's fine.
Well, one of these nights when I was laying in bed not able to sleep, I did some fairly extensive research, and I could come up with nothing that supported that claim.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to hear that because I love this, and my intake is exponentially more.
Well, it's so good. I mean, really, the only thing we drink, we have a cup of coffee in the morning, and then water and a cocktail at night.
Maybe
I mean,
green tea.
Yeah. Well, I used to like green tea actually.
I got to get that back into circulation.
Yeah.
And to our rotation because we were having more tea when I first got here.
Yeah, we were
always all British.
I know. And well, you know, and the Brits, you know, that's not so much about green tea with the Brits.
No.
But I really do enjoy green tea, and I've never been able to find it since, but years ago, and I'm probably mispronouncing this, so if there's any Asian friends listening, it was a bojenmi or something like that, Chinese green tea.
Okay, yeah.
Which was like delish and detoxifying.
Green tea is really one of the best things.
Well, it's so good for you. It's so good for you. I mean, it all comes from the same plant. It's just how long how it's processed and how long it's left to dry. But it all comes from the same plant, TST. So.
Yeah, and I can't. You know, this is one thing. I mean, we won't get them as a sponsor, but that I've tried to get friends get off the Diet Coke. Just remember, anything you use to clean your toilet with probably shouldn't go in your body.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, I enjoy a soft drink as a mixer once in a while. Like I'll enjoy a rum and Coke or something like that. And
I'm not judging. I'm saying that you want to at least wean yourself off.
Well,
some of those,
this is the thing, right? I mean, it should be a treat. It shouldn't.
Yeah.
It should not be a staple. So, and you know, all of that stuff it's just so bad for you.
And you know, I'm such a fan. That reminds my mom. Like when you keep things as a treat, it remains special and wonderful.
Yeah.
So some things should just be, again, everything in moderation.
Exactly.
Or once, you know, in a blue moon.
Yeah.
then it's like, oh, this is so fabulous and exotic.
Yeah.
If you do it all the time, then
Well, it doesn't, it's no longer a treat, right? I mean,
exactly.
so, we're not saying by any stretch of the imagination that this summer you can't enjoy, rum and Coke out on the patio, if that's your jam, but it just, everything in moderation. And, like I love gin and tonic, right? And
I love tonic water too.
oh God.
But doesn't it have the stuff that the hydro, what's it called? That they said helps.
Quinine?
Yeah, quinine.
Yeah. Tonic water has quinine in it.
So it had, that, the one thing that was supposed to help COVID. Anyway, I love it, but there's a lot of sugar in it.
There is a lot of sugar in it. And, so there is a diet alternative, but that's introducing, synthetic stuff into your diet. So you might not want to. So the reality is you might just want to dial back your consumption and stick with the stuff that's made with real sugar.
Exactly. But
as opposed to introducing all of these synthetic sweeteners, which are really not good for you.
They are. Well, we talked about that on a previous show.
We did, yeah.
It's really quite a mini series. You don't want to miss any of these. You don't want to miss a moment of these.
You want to subscribe.
Exactly. Subscribe. Give us some comments. Tell your friends. We've got an eggplant as a mascot. How are you not having fun with this? For the love of God, do it.
Right?
Yeah. And also, we have a little cheesiness part deux because
yes.
we went on and on last week.
I know about this VO Life stuff. And honest to God, I'd never heard of this stuff. And I had found what I thought were some really great alternatives to dairy products. And I happenstance upon this VO Life in Loblaws, and we tried it with our grilled cheese and actually fell in love with it.
I had like three grilled cheese sandwiches.
Oh my God, it's absolutely phenomenal. So I did a little bit of research, as I promised, where we can find this stuff.
Right.
So it is a company from Greece. They're in 50 countries. They've got a range of products. Not only do they have the cheese slices, but they've also got a cream cheese. And let's face it, the Greeks know how to make some cheese, right? They've got feta.
Oh, kidding. I know. I really want to try the feta.
They've got parm.
Wonderful.
They've got a
provolone?
smoked. Yes, they have a smoked provolone.
Smoked provolone was my other drag queen name.
You got a lot of drag queen names.
So many. It was the drag queen's gambit.
I don't think I have a one.
Well, we're gonna have to change.
We're gonna
that,
have to change
aren't we?
that. Yes, absolutely.
So
they've got an entire product line. They're available in 50 countries. They're available at Sobeys. They're available at the Loblaws chain, like the Weston stuff, Zehrs, Loblaws, Supercenter.
And you brought home some mozzarella shreds.
Yeah, I brought home some mozzarella shreds too. So we're going to give those a whirl as well. The VO Life brand. And you can even get this shit at Walmart. Like what?
That's, it's funny. We were... I didn't know about this, but we were driving around, let's say about a month ago, and I said, hey, it's weird that McDonald's doesn't have a vegan alternative, right?
I know, it's bizarre. Everyone's got a vegan alternative, but McDonald's is the biggest fast food chain on the planet.
Yeah, you'd think they'd be, right there. It's funny. Now, somebody that I interviewed on a past episode of Carla Collins Rocks the Elmo, that's the other podcast, which I think you would enjoy, that Michael produces and I host. We're talking to a gentleman called Steve Jones who has a book called How to Brand Like a Rock Star.
Mm-hmm. Great book. Great man, great book.
Oh my God, yeah, he's just beautiful. I mean, really, because we thought, he'll be a good guy, and he was just like a magnificent beast by the end.
I fell in love with him just a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
he's got an interesting story. He's a mensch, really lovely human being.
Really great guy. And he, so I remember because I had read his book fairly recently, that he, they brought up McDonald's, talk about places staying on brand. Mm-hmm. So when McDonald's introduced pasta and pizza, it was short-lived. It just didn't go despite the powerhouse, right?
Although their pizza was really good.
It was really good. I know. I had the pizza. We've all been to, let's be honest, we've all been to McDonald's. I know we don't like to, it's our guilty pleasure. It's that mistress that we only meet at the really divey restaurants, right? We keep you on the down low, lady. But so I was wondering, because we've had the great burgers at A&W, which I know I keep mentioning.
And Harvey's has a great vegan burger too. Let's give props.
Burger King has the Impossible Whopper. I mean, come on. So Burger King with that creepy Burger King mascot. I have bad dreams. Like that ceramic face. Everything's wrong there. But so I was just reading, because someone posted this on one of the socials. Apparently last year, A few Canadian cities were, when they do a little
Like a pilot project. Yeah.
test trial kind of thing with the McPlant. That was the name of the burger. Worst name ever.
Oh my God.
McPlant sounds horrible.
It's so unoriginal.
I know. It also sounds like an Irish steel factory. I got to go work at the McPlant, darling. I can't do accents. But so apparently like London, Ontario had it. And people were saying like they love, because the thing is you're going to go en masse, like a whole bunch of people. Vegans get hungover too. You're going to hit McDonald's and there's zero. There's literally the apple slices, Michael, the side salad, and maybe the oatmeal and the McCafes. There's nothing for vegans there. In fact, the fries are vegan in every country but the U.S. because apparently, the U.S. uses a little bit of milk and something and some beef. And I'm thinking the problem is they use the same grill. So if you're a really hardcore vegan, I am not that way. I'd be like, that's fine. So there's a problem with that. I don't know how. I don't think it would be that difficult for them to have a separate grill.
Well, I would imagine so.
And you'd think because it's just also the wave, just as business people. So apparently they're reintroducing the McPlant is coming, at least to the U.S.
Can we talk to them about that name?
2021.
Can we talk to them about that name? Like if there's any McDonald's execs listening right now, just...
Michael has his own marketing company.
I'll help you for free.
And you know me, I write a slogan for everyone.
I know, it's true. We can help you, McDonald's, because that's a horrible name.
Yeah, no one wants the McPlant. Like the visual is not exciting.
I'm thinking of like a rock band right now.
Are like, I know. Robert McPlant, Zeppelin. Or people, maybe they're really brilliant and all the cannabis people are like, oh, I want a McPlant. I smoked some plant and now I want a McPlant, more plants. I don't know. So it's, and some people I saw waning on social media saying, McDonald's is the worst thing. And and who, don't worry, I don't know that there's that much real meat in those burgers. I mean, who knows? But I also thought they'll get it out to the masses that, you have to see everything. Everything's got a duality.
Yeah.
And I am shocked because, again, you're going to all want to, I think fast food is a place where it's really going to thrive. Look at all the burgers that they're selling. And again, as we talk about.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. I mean, we live in a society of convenience and everyone's going through the drive-through. So it is likely the fastest way, meaning fast food, to introduce some plant-based alternative to the masses. And the reality is, if we have an opportunity to introduce some plant alternatives to mainstream culture, like I don't care how we do it as long as we do it. So kudos to you, McDonald's, the biggest fast food chain on the planet. Introducing your McPlant. That name.
Okay. Let's not be too surprised, Michael. This is the same place that called their fish sandwich Filet-O-Fish.
How original.
I mean, remember, that was the first thing we made fun of as a kid. And also, I used to say anybody ordering a Filet-O-Fish at McDonald's was clearly a serial killer. Like, you can't, not one friend ordered the Filet-O-Fish. Right?
I can't recall anybody through my entire life, anyone ordering a piece of bread and fish on a bun.
At the end of a long night or a date, or you went to the dance and then but can I have the Filet-O-Fish? You're just not getting fish at McDonald's. Like, come on.
Unless you're a hardcore Catholic on a Friday.
If you went to the drive-thru on a Friday
by yourself.
Wow. So that was called a Filet-O-Fish. Let's not be too shocked about McPlant.
I know. Although McDonald's,
was the Filet-O-Fish also Irish?
I don't know.
Filet-O-Fish.
Oh my God. I'm having flashbacks to my childhood right now. McDonald's, I mean, they had some really great marketing. I remember, the Hamburglar.
Was the Hamburglar supposed to be frightening? The Hamburglar was like, to me,
I don't know.
Didn't talk like he was like that whole McDonald's scene. I don't know what microdosing was happening, but when you think of first of all, it's a terrifying clown. Like Ronald McDonald is a a lot of clowns.
Well, I know he's a little it adjacent.
He does. He looks like it looks like that's like if it cleaned up, it would look like Ronald. And he's super creepy. And then what is Grimace?
I know.
What is Grimace? So
a purple blob. I don't know.
I think he was the poster child for the shakes. Like if you go through all the McDonald's and then I think the hamburger just said burger. That striped outfit. What the hell?
But
it's just so funny. Like, what they're just so good. He had to steal them. I can't remember. So, there were a whole bunch of like.
there was a
real
posse.
rabbit hole happening there.
There was a McDonald's posse.
The
right?
executives fucking with this. Like, all right, kids. Grimace was just.
I know, but then there were Wendy's had I don't know if that Anne-like character.
Well, that's his daughter.
No,
that was Dave's daughter, though.
Was it for real?
Yes, yeah. I was jealous of her because I'm like, look at that great dad you have, and you just named an entire fast food conglomerate after you. But
for some reason
Wendy
she reminded
was his
me.
kid, so she's, I think she's now the CEO. I could be wrong, but
possibly.
That was a real person.
She reminded me of Anne of Green Gables for some crazy reason.
Wind at my back. Yes.
Wind up my skirt.
She had the red hair. Yeah, there's Wendy's. And then, again, we talked about, of course, Whopper, because it was like the king, and it had that ceramic face.
Yeah.
And now they bring him out, and I'm like, I ever wake up and see the king at the, like, because he was often in people's bedrooms.
Oh, my God.
And they're like, wake up. When they were, because they were, trying to plug the breakfasts, and like, wake up to the king, and he'd be there, and, with that, Jesus. And I said, that's the worst. And obviously they're all very effective because these are huge companies. So there's something with fast food and commercials. Remember Where's the Beef woman? There was
my God. Yeah.
I think that was Wendy's, right? Or was it?
It might have been. Remember. I don't know.
Yeah. So there've been a whole bunch of, and then it's da 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 da. Now they've, they've had all the jingles, but I can't get past the McDonaldland characters right now. I can't
Sorry. I was just having a flashback.
The Hamburglar single because he's a bad boy, and I like that. Oh my God, that's awesome. So yeah, McPlant.
What?
See,
honestly,
that just doesn't sound
someone
sexy.
should call us. It's not at all sexy, and we have to make it sexy.
Look at this is our whole mission on Earth is trying to make vegan sexy.
I think we're succeeding so far.
Oh, absolutely. The vegan vixens. And again, because like try it, don't try it, try one night a week. That's why I wanted to bring up the two things, like again, the miscongenialities of guac and hummus. Yeah. Just for that. Also both so filling.
Yeah. And
like if you're looking at weight loss, you really can't go wrong with those two dishes.
Well, I mean, as we've already spoken to, guac, the avocado has all kinds of phenomenal health benefits. The hummus with the chickpeas. I like
how you say that.
Hummus. I have a lot of Middle Eastern friends. I actually started learning how to speak Farsi.
Did you?
That's a tough language.
Farsi is tough, and but I know that it has a couple of the same words as French.
Really?
Like
well,
merci,
yes.
I think, and merci would be very similar.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, if I understand my Persian history,
it's a beautiful language too.
Oh my God, absolutely. Yeah. Well, and you're living in LA and have been for the longest time, and there's a huge Iranian population, Persian population in LA. It's
and that's why I knew about the mercy. There were a couple words I thought I understand a little bit of that.
Do you know
and
what?
They said we have some French. What?
So just sort of piecing, piecing all of this together. So I have a friend actually, Zara, who is Persian.
Right.
Love her to death. She makes the best kashkabanam jun on the planet. She's living in LA.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and so kashkabanam jun, obviously it's made with dairy.
I was going to say, tell me what that is.
It's this gorgeous kind of, and I hate eggplant, but this is the only way. This is the only way I can eat eggplant. So it's kind of like a baba ganoush-ish. Please, all of my Persian friends, don't shit all over me for comparing kashkabanam jun to baba ganoush. But it's a similar kind of dish. Zara makes the best kashkabanam jun on the face of the earth. But if we can find an alternative to the dairy portion of that.
Well, what's the dairy that's in there, hon? Is it cheese?
It's a cheese, like a Persian cheese.
New cheese, the Greek cheese you found that
let's see. Let's see. So let's have a chitty chat with Zara and see if she'd be willing to share her recipe with us for kashkabanam jun, and then
kashkabanam jun. I don't know.
I'm probably mispronouncing that. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that.
Whom I believe you compared my hair to the other day.
Well, that one character, I can't remember what movie it
Edward
was.
Scissorhands?
I don't know, possibly. Your hair had it had a zip code all its own, but
it really has its own stuff going on sometimes. I'm declaring it as a dependent come tax time. It may be self-aware. It's following me on Insta. It could be. It's been here, but that sounds good. And again, all the because we're making it exotic and erotic. Like the more,
let's have some fun with this, and let's take some of our favorites and see how we might be able to veganize them a little bit, And
you've been veganized.
Oh, I like that.
Yes.
TM.
Oh, we're emailing it to ourselves.
Exactly.
I know.
It's a poor man's copyright.
I know. This week I came up with take a higher selfie, and I'm all over that, and putting the ohm in Zoom. All mine. All mine.
Love it. Yes.
So McDonald's, let us help you out.
Yeah, please.
So speaking of anything that's as you know, my older gentleman lover.
Yes, go on.
The one
whom I love.
Listening. Yes, we do love Greg. As people know, I joke about that. He's much older, but he's jacked, so he's sort of like a buff Joe Biden, and he listens to us, loves you.
Oh, I adore him.
Goes on about our chemistry.
Well, we do have some.
I know, and he's like, I was like, if Michael was straight, and I'm like, no, we're the same person. We still just be besties. Drive each other crazy. You can't have the two.
It's true. No.
A-types together all the time. But so, oddly enough, when we were joking around and he was listening to one of our shows, he has gifted me, a session. I'm getting my Akashic records ready.
Oh my God, really? What?
Week.
How exciting is that?
And it's by a woman who's older, like she doesn't have PayPal. He's got to send her a check.
What? Checks?
I know.
Do those still exist?
Apparently, in Kansas.
Oh my God.
So I guess she takes your birthday. I don't know. And this
my gosh.
I don't think so much future because they say, and I have some information on it. By the way, apparently we can all access our own Akashic records.
Oh yes, go on.
There is something called the pathway prayer.
Oh.
And if you want more information, there's a woman, because you can, like anything else, there are people who do these readings. I'm obviously going to find out more about this with this woman. But there's something. Yes, Linda Howe has a book, How to Read the Akashic Records. It was published in 1997. And there's a prayer. Yes, the pathway prayer. You can find that online and download it. I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
You download that, and people say it's like when you can read your own, it's like going home. So again, this is the history of everything we've ever thought, whatever. So I'm going to hear about my past lives.
So
that worries me.
So, well, it would worry me too. In fact, one of our mutual friends, Sarah, suggested that I was Cortez in a past life, which doesn't best please me. But anyway.
Oh my gosh.
So when you access your Akashic records, is this like dialing into your voicemail or something?
They said yes. Like it's a Google for your soul. I think it's just also this dear old woman's going to be like, hey, some of your thoughts and intents. What's up, Missy? Clean yourself up. Your giant new dog, yes. Duke, just came and put his head on me.
Oh, he's such a lover. I know. For anyone who's watching the video version.
I know. So just in case you just thought that I was thrown off. He likes when his ears are wrong. Yes. Duke's mediocre breath just reminded me that avocados are great for your breath. Too bad you can't give them to dogs.
No, can't. No, never give an avocado. Yes.
But it did remind me about another benefit of avocados, people.
Oh.
Yes.
Great good breath. Fantastic. Well, that's good to know.
Now, they say that it's past, present, and future.
Yeah.
I don't know that she does future because also the future is just the trajectory because we have free will. So that future could change, right?
Of course.
They can only kind of give you. So, yeah, it's everything that's ever been recorded.
Isn't that interesting? Well, I want to hear more.
So I know I'm really excited to access this. And it's funny when you hear about something and then all of a sudden you hear about it a million places. And I just like that my older gentleman lover, I got a guy. No, I have this woman. And she did his 20 years ago.
Really?
And I guess apparently it's just another tool and exciting. And some people, and of course, Gwenyth Paltrow had someone on the Goop.
Oh, God, Gwenyth.
Who is an Akashic record reader, and she has her own way of doing it. So
is she not the celeb who has a perfume that smells like her cooch?
No, honey, that's totally wrong. She has a candle that smells like her vagina.
Oh, I'm sorry. I stand corrected.
Well, that was, listen, we forget about things the simpler times pre-pandemic. But I don't know if you're aware. Again, when something happens and everybody has it. So she had the candle that smelled like her vagina. Couple quick things about that. Allegedly, she made members of her staff at Goof so that she could ensure accuracy.
I can't even imagine.
They had to sniff her vagina and then make something that smelled like it. And I'm like, you thought Amazon had a toxic working environment.
Honestly, I can't even imagine.
Right?
And who wants to fire up a candle that smells like a cooch?
No, I can't.
Like,
I'll tell you something. I used it for a seance. No ghost showed up. They're like, no thanks, bitch.
Exactly.
Well, so she did that, and like on the heels of that, Erica Badu made perfume that smelled like her cooch, and I was like, God, as if those people who spritz perfume on you when you walk through,
why? Like that's like
Macy's weren't annoying enough. No thanks, bye.
I just don't understand. That's like Ralph Lauren making some cologne that smells like his schmagma.
I know.
Who wants to go around smelling like dick crust?
I don't know.
I don't understand. What is wrong with people?
Oh, so many jokes. Can you imagine when you go into someone's home? Well, you're a realtor. You know how important the smell is. Forget cinnamon. But, as I said, so I'm
What's that smell? It smells like...
Well, just
smells like a swingers club in here.
Like whenever some celebrity has an idea, I go, because I'm a nerd, I go straight to the poor scientist. It's like, hey, Bill, what are you working on? Oh, I've just been working on splitting the atom. And, what about you, Bill? Well, I'm also working on stem cell research, Mark. Oh, the time-space continuum, doing some quantum leaping. And what about you, Phil? Oh, I just made a can of Febreze that smells like Tori Spelling's cooch. So...
Sorry, Dean.
What the hell?
Who happens to be a friend of ours.
That's why I did it. But, because obviously someone somewhere has to make this. I mean, Gwenyth may have her own people. I don't even know what she has going on there.
I don't know. I can't even
picture,
imagine.
Like Lilliputians or Oompa Loompas are all working in the Lollipop Guild. Like they're all working for Gwenyth somehow in some underground factory. I don't know what she has going on. She terrifies. Scares the shit out of me. I'm going to be honest. She's very,
oh my gosh,
very obsessed with her own snooge and with others because her products include like, here's a jade egg, ladies. You should put it up your snooge. And I'm like, no thanks.
Oh my God, I can't even.
Oh, her other thing was also her big. She started with steaming your snooge, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
What, with one of those clothes steamers?
I didn't read more than that. I'm like, but it's not wrinkled at all. Thank you. Like, why am I steaming? I don't know. Oh, yeah, the whole ironing your. I get mine martinized, so I don't have to. Right to the dry cleaners.
I know.
Bitch.
I can't even imagine ironing your muff.
That's when
that's why all kinds of
that's
wrong.
Why this pandemic happened. It's because of Gwenyth Paltrow. Because the universe went. You know what? Everybody. That's it. I got to pull this right back. If you guys are so bored, if everybody is just so unevolved that you're like, I'm gonna make a little candle that smells like my vagina. He's like, nope, I'm bringing about a plague. I've cracked the code. It's because of Gwenyth Paltrow.
It's true. Her muff worship.
Yes, God. Yeah, no. So my joke for the longest time was that how I got guys is because I used to line my panty drawer with bacon. Let's be honest. Or new car smell. Like, be smart about it. What do straight men want to smell like?
Listen,
bacon and new car.
Yeah, dudes love new car smell.
That's what I used to joke. That's what mine smells like. Not to brag.
New car.
But like, what? No. I don't know who that was for. If you're listening and you're like, oh, I bought 4 of those candles. It's terrific.
Yeah. Please don't bother calling us. We don't want to know.
Well, I think we're going to have to wrap up because I believe that the hounds of...
we've probably bored everybody long enough too. But before we take off,
yes.
We wanted to let people know that we have purchased from The Good Butchers.
Yes.
A starter kit, and we want to sample some more vegan products so that we can let everybody know what they're like. But the Good Butchers have an amazing. So they're based in BC.
Oh, they're Canadian.
Yeah, they are Canadian. They ship all over the place. Relatively new company, and we'll share some of the history. We don't have a lot of time left today, but we'll share some of their history on the episode that that we're reviewing some of their products in.
Exactly.
But they're Canadian based. They ship all over the country. They ship into the U.S. They've got a fantastic line of plant-based meat alternatives, including all kinds of phenomenal sausages and ground beef.
Sausages.
And brisket and all kinds of stuff. So
they have a vegan bacon that I can line my pantry drawer with.
Well, possibly. For the Russell Brands of the world.
That's right. That would be amazing. Okay, I'm looking forward to that because, again, the more we can introduce. And you've been talking about you wanted to try these guys for.
I have wanted to try these guys for a long time. I just never.
That's
had
what
the
his Grindr
opportunity.
profile said. At least I'd like to try a good butcher.
I'd like to try these guys.
I wanted to try these guys for a long time. The Good Butcher sounds like it was a spinoff after The Good Wife and The Good Fight and The Good Butcher.
I like it. Well, I haven't seen The Good Wife, but I have seen all of The Good Fight with You, and it's fantastic. So if these guys are
as delicious as that. I'm excited to try it. That's cool. They're out of Vancouver as well.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Love it. So they have a great backstory, which we'll share next time, and we'll let you know how delicious this stuff is. And then we'll try some recipes with their wares too. So boys from The Good Butchers, if you're listening to us and you have some recipes you want us to try with your products, then hit us up.
Absolutely. Your vegan vixens await.
Exactly.
I've got to go take a cold shower now.
I've got to pour another glass of wine.
Not just because of our sexual power. Michael, you're amazing. Again, thank you for introducing this into my life. Because again, guys, since I'm the guinea pig, and that's why I want to try all these things. Because now that I'm vegan, we got to keep going. I want to try the next thing.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the fun. Trying new stuff and experimenting.
So, oh my God, the next episode we'll know about my past lives, which right there. I went to a bad psychic once, and basically I was every type of slut or whore there ever was, and except for one shiny moment when I was a nun. But I was a nun who banged a priest.
Was that the psychic that I introduced you to?
No.
Oh. No, so you've had 2 bad readings.
I've had that was the psychic who said, I'm like, oh, so I'm an old soul. And he's like, no, you're not an old soul. Your soul's middle-aged. And I'm like, why is my soul wearing a comb over? Go to a Buffett concert. But so we'll see.
Jimmy.
We'll see what Gloria has to say.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
We'll have an amazing recipe for your hummus.
My hummus. Cool you've got to get that guttural thing in. Hummus.
Hummus is going to be hot.
It's so freaking delicious.
I know.
And so good for you.
Yeah. And so filling. Yeah, it's amazing. I love it. We put sambal on that. We put it on everything. And so until we meet again.
Looking forward to next week, and I hope everyone has a phenomenal week, and try our guac. Let us know what you think, and if you have any suggestions for for maybe some of your favorite dishes you want us to try and veganize,
we'll veganize it.
We'll veganize the shit out of anything you throw at us. So
before the next show, I'm gonna make a candle that smells like a vegan.
I'm just trying to imagine what that smells like.
It was just an existentialist joke. I don't know what I'm saying half the time. But so more good stuff. Thanks for listening. We're having a blast.
Everybody.
And we love you.
We do. And I love you, Carla Marie Collins.
Well, I just stopped soy milking all my time with you. Soy milking it to death. So stay safe and healthy and reasonably sane. I know some things are opening back up around the world, which is great, I think. And so when you get back out there in the brave new world, we want you as healthy as possible.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everyone be well.
All right. Mwah.
Bye, babies.